This conference will now be recorded.
So in yesterday's class, we have finished with configuration part. Okay. Today we need to start with material master and creating the other master data required for the production. So what is the first step? We need to create the material master. Transaction codes are MM01, MM02, MM03. So MM01 is for creation mode, MM02 is for change mode, and MM03 is for display mode. Similarly, for the BOM, we have CS01, CS03, CS02. Okay, create, change, display, and routing CS01, CS02, CS03. I have mentioned the transaction codes. However, we will be doing it on Fiori. So we'll be looking at how we can search the apps through the Fiori. We can search through the transaction codes. We can give some words, the keywords through which my Fiori tiles will pop up. So yesterday I asked every one of you, have you accessed Fiori? And I hope it was working fine for all of you.
Hi everyone, good morning, Atul here.
Hi Atul. So someone who does not know still how to access Fiori, so you'll be going to the Fiori screen, going to the launchpad and double click on the UI2/FLP. You'll get this screen. So if you go and click on allow, this particular HTTPI, the website will try to open on the Internet Explorer, which is not being supported right now with 2021 version of S4HANA. It's already obsolete. So that's why you need to copy, go to my Explorer, which is Chrome browser, press and do not go to your computer's Chrome browser. This is still in the remote desktop only. Okay, if you try to paste it in your Google Chrome browser and tell me it is not working, because that happened in the past. Few students did like that as well. So Mohammed, I think I did not give you the Fiori ID today. After the class, I'll give you that. But understand how do we need to log in. So once you enter your password, press log on and your home screen will pop up. Few of us may not have these many apps. Okay, have you tried? Do you see all these apps or is it blank or your home page is blank?
No, mine is having only two tiles, like creating bomb and creating a tree.
Right. So because this is my ID, I've been teaching few other batches where I have added these many apps in my home page. Okay. You can also add whenever it is required as you go with the flow. You keep adding on the apps on your home page. Okay, how do we add? First of all, we'll have to go to my ID. Okay, go to app finder, and then we have three menus here. One is catalog, user menu, and SAP menu, right? So under the catalog, you can go and see the supply chain or the production. Okay, say for example, this production order display. Here you have the tiles. Okay, if you go to the master data, here you have the tiles. So once you go over here, I am hoping you will be having the catalog because I have copied through my ID. So this part will be same. So here you have all the tiles, and whatever you are seeing in the dark blue color and these are white colors, these mean these are pinned in my home page. Okay, so I will do it manually, and even you can do it manually on your home page because that home page does not get copied even if I copy from my ID. Okay, so just go through the catalogs. You will be having for sales, you will be having for material management, and if you know the transaction codes, you can always search in the catalog. Say for example, for production version, I do not know under which catalog it will be, right? So I'll just do C223 and I'll do a search. If it does not show, then you go in the SAP menu and then you can do a C223. So here it will show. So either of these, catalog or SAP menu, you will find your tiles. Okay. So that's how we will add. That is one thing. And I'll tell you a few more other things about the Fiori apps. There are something called as area of responsibility. Okay, and each tile also has some settings which the GUI screen does not have. These particular screens will not have settings which are required sometimes in the Fiori tiles. Okay, which we need to understand. Not all the tiles will have settings, but wherever we have, and you need to configure those settings, you need to select few things before you can proceed. I'll let you know as we go. Okay, so first of all, we need to start with the material master, which is create material master. So like I mentioned, we can search once you have added, of course, once you have added on your home page or in the groups. So these are called groups. You can search, and this search will be for your screen. It is not again like the app finder, but this is your screen, whatever is being added here. So the first screen is create material. Okay, so once you type create material, you will get all the tiles which has this combination material and create and material. So what I need to access, I need to access create material. Okay, if you do not want to go with this flow, you can go to mm01 and you will get create material. So either which ways, if you're coming from SAP background where you know the transaction codes and you're comfortable with transaction codes, you can always search with mm01, mm02, cs01, cs02. Those transaction codes still works here. And if we are very new to Fiori, we can adapt the new way, which is typing the keywords. Okay. There is a pressure on it.
Sir, I just want to ask you one thing. Sir, how would be the SPRO screen over here? Is it the same like GUI, or we have any different screen, and how we can configure over there?
Okay, so SPRO will not come. You will get, as a consultant, you will get this particular access as well. You will be having this GUI screen. That's why I did all configuration here, not on the Fiori screen. Okay, and someone who is from the end user will also not get GUI. Okay, like he will not get GUI, we will get GUI to configure the system. So configuration, it still happens in this particular screen, not completely on Fiori, but execution happens on the Fiori.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, and another thing is, I have seen in my project, they have given the reference IMG, the one Fiori you're talking, the configuration you're talking about. They have added that tile. I'm not sure how they have added, but that was done in my previous project. Okay, so if I want to find out, I'll try to find out and tell you. But yes, we do get this particular screen where we do the configuration, and it is connected to my Fiori, okay, through the backend, and all the data whichever I'm creating here will flow in my Fiori screens. All right, so let me close this. So today we are going to create a product which is Maruti Brezza, which is newly launched. Okay, so we will be creating the material master, bomb, routing, alternate bombs. Okay, all these raw materials, okay, or the components we can say for the Maruti Brezza. So I'll copy Maruti Brezza from here. industry sector will be mechanical for me, and material type will be finished goods. So if I press F, it will give me finished product. But here you can see in the MM team, not in the MM team, I would say, in MM training, few people are also creating their own material types. So that's why we are able to see multiple finished products. So choose the very first one. If it does not work, then we'll have to choose something else. Okay, because it's not giving the FERT or those things ROH in front of my material type. So I'll be copying from THAR 2.0, which is my previous product. Continue. Here we will be taking the sales view because we will be doing a sales cycle as well. How do we create a sales order and those things? We'll be picking up work scheduling view because I told you this view is important. If this is missing, my plan order to production order will not be converted. And then we can include one quality view as well. Okay, and other views are not required right now, and whenever it is required, I'll tell you. So here we are copying. So just to give you the information, 17.1a, 17.1b, and 17.1c is my storage location that we are going to utilize during our training. Okay, 17.1a will be for finished goods, 17.1b will be for semi-finished product, and 17.1c is for raw materials. Okay, so whenever you are using, use the same storage locations for your material type. Sales organization will be 1710 and distribution channel will be 10. So once you enter, you have to, if you're copying from any product, then you need to change the description as well. Okay, so this will be my Maruti Brezza 2022. My base unit of measure, again, it depends upon product to product. Some products will be in pieces if you are producing in food items or some components which are required in pieces. So that you will know during the workshops, and we don't have to worry about eaches or pieces or something else because this will be part of MM team. Okay, base unit of measure is something which lies with the MM team during the material master creation. So they will be automatically talking to the client and finding it out what is the base unit of measure. So in basic data 1 view, we do not have much information from PP point of view. Basic data 1, press enter. Basic data 2 also we do not have much here, press enter. And then here we have sales organization view 1. So sales view again will be maintained by the sales team, sales and distribution. But as a PP guy, we are running this scenario. So we'll be maintaining the minimum requirement, whatever is asked here. Okay, so star marks and delivering plant I'm providing here. So from where I'm giving the sales, the customer my stock from 1710 plant. Okay. Here, when you are not copying from any material, it will be asking you for the tax. So we as a we as a manufacturing guy, we do not know about the tax, right? So we'll put as 0, that means no tax, just to be on safer side. Press enter. Item category, which is for standard item. Okay, so this is a pretty standard in SAP. So I'm going to use as NORM, which stands for the standard item. So nothing much, press enter. And here you have this gross weight and net weight. So for this product, what is my gross weight and what is my net weight? You can give something imaginary figure here. Okay, this is not mandatory. Again, this lies with the sales team to maintain. The loading group is something which is important, though it does not have a star mark. But if you do not give this when we create the sales order, there will be my shipping point issues which will arise. Okay, so when I'm saving my sales order, it will say cannot determine the shipping point which is connected with my loading group. So if you are not copying from my materials you're creating on your own, then make sure you are maintaining the loading group. And this is only required for the finished product, not for the raw materials, everything. Because finished product is something which is sold to the customer, not semi-finished product, not the raw materials. Then comes the MRP view. So here in my Excel file, I have maintained the lot size. So according to this, we are going to maintain my lot sizes in the MRP view. So for my finished product, we have decided that we'll go with EX and PD, which is standard, right? So all are standard, but we have different variations of MRP and lot size we are going to use. So here we have EX, okay, and PD combination for engine. Here we have FX, my lot size means fixed lot size I will be using with PD. And then I'm going to use consumption based planning for my windshield, okay, which is VB and HB, replenishment to the maximum stock level. Then for tires, we are going to use planning calendar with PD, okay, and sunroof again back to standard, which is EX and PD. So once we run MRP, we'll have different variations to see that how my system behaves and how system will plan, how MRP will plan these raw materials, okay, or I would say components in different PD like MRP and lot size combination. So here this is PD and EX. That's what we have mentioned over here. Okay, so once we are maintaining FX, we'll be maintaining fixed lot size as well. So as we go, we'll talk about these fields. Okay. So in MRP2 view, the procurement type is something very important. So this will decide if your product is in-house manufactured or if it is externally procured. So we have three options here, E, F, and X. Okay, so E stands for in-house, F stands for externally procured item, which will be from vendor, and then I have X, okay, which is either procured or either I can manufacture in-house. So if I have a bottleneck situation where I cannot go ahead and produce as per my demand, and if the vendor can supply the same quality goods, I can also buy from vendor and I can supply to my customers by doing my own badging. So those scenarios are also available in SAP. So I'll do with E. And then special procurement, we will be looking in the subcontracting process, okay, the header subcontracting process. Backflush, we will be maintaining when we are maintaining the components, okay, not for the finished product. And then this production storage location is important, okay. So if you do not maintain here, what will be the impact? If you're going with the milestone confirmation and you're going with the auto GR, right? So that is an automatic goods movement which is happening in the backend as soon as you confirm your last operation. So how system will determine that which storage location I need to go and place that particular finished product? It will be determined from this particular location. Either you maintain it here, which will be always defaulted in your confirmations. If you do not maintain it here, every time you need to remember and maintain during your confirmations. And if you do not maintain, what will happen? It will go in the COGI transaction. COGI we spoke about, right? And then there we need to analyze if it was storage location issue, was it a less stock issue, batch missing, those things, and then from there we need to clear it. So better you maintain it here. And then we do have a second storage location for EP. EP stands for externally procured. Suppose this material is my raw material, which I'll maintain afterwards. So for that material, when vendor is supplying, where do I need to store it? Okay, that is the location for my raw materials. So when I'm receiving from vendors, which storage location it will go. So if this is missing, again I need to maintain it manually when we are doing the goods receipt of the production orders. Okay, so to avoid those things, we'll maintain the material master properly. So coming to scheduling here, so you are maintaining the in-house production time. So customer or the client will give you that for this particular product, I would take 3 days or 4 days of time to manufacture my Maruti Brezza. Okay, so this particular time and whatever you are maintaining here will be considered as your basic start date and end date as well. Okay, so if you say 5 days, so 5 days will be added there, and if you do a lead time scheduling, your routing data will be also added. So basic data comes from here. The basic start date and end date we have seen in yesterday's session. It comes from my in-house production time, my GR processing time. Planned delivery time is for my raw materials, that can be ignored here. And if any planning calendar is also assigned, which we will see in PK lot size. And then again, we spoke about schedule margin key yesterday. So what is the GR processing time? GR processing time is the time which is required once you have finished your product and the time required for the quality management. Okay, so here we are maintaining the quality view. So we are saying that quality will take 1 day of time to do the quality check. So this will be also added to your the basic end date. Okay, and then if you have any safety stock requirements, then you can maintain your safety stock
So,
information here.
Yash, one
Yeah,
question about the Kogi that you mentioned. I means I did not follow that one. Why it will go there? In case if there is
because
a
you right. So in yesterday's session during the confirmation parameters, right, I told you that we have the option of error management. Okay, and there was option of error handling, not error management. It was error handling. So if you have activated that error handling during confirmation, so whatever error are coming during your confirmations, especially from the automatic goods movement like backflush or auto GR, then those things will be captured in the transaction called as COGI, COGI, or someone says COGI as well. Okay,
okay.
so we'll see that how if I do not maintain my stock, or if I do not maintain my batch, or if I do not maintain my location, why the things will go in COGI and how I can clear from COGI. Okay, so that execution part will come. So that time it will be more clear for you. So yeah, this was my MRP2 view. The things which are important over here will maintain, and then you can press enter. So in MRP3 view, we have the planning. Okay. So under the planning, the main thing is strategy group. So we discussed this in our strategy class, that how and why my strategy behaves in such a way, right? If I'm using 40, what are my implications? If I'm using 10, what are my implications? What are considered, how it is considered, we'll see during the execution. So here I did not maintain the strategy part, but let me, so we'll go in sequence. First we will do 10. Okay, then we'll do 11, then we'll do 40. First we will cover from the MTS part, make to stock, and then we will go to MTO, which is 20 and 50. Okay, so three strategies we'll cover first. So 10 is required as a strategy group, and then I have consumption mode. Okay, and here I have backward consumption and forward consumption, and I have mentioned 60. So what is this? So 60 or any number which I'm maintaining over here denotes number of days for me. Okay, and what is a consumption mode? Consumption mode says that if you have the requirement. That means your demand or forecast. So in which direction your forecast will be reduced when you have delivered your sales order. Okay, so there will be concept of coming as reduction and consumption, which will be very important from the interview perspectives. Okay, and even the execution. So we'll talk about that, reduction and consumption. Okay, so these two words are very important from a PP point of view, and this this reduction and consumption plays a very important role from the consumption mode. Okay, so I'll show you during the execution. With theory it will be confusing for sure, I understand that. So understand that backward and forward is, I told you, the flow in which direction my system looks for the PIRs. So we will be entering PIRs, which is nothing but my demand or my forecast. And once we are done with execution, the complete execution, okay, so the strategy 10 will have some characteristics that I need to explain you first, and then you will understand the backward and forward consumption and any other consumption for that matter. Okay, so right now, for layman terms, we will understand this is forward and backward, the direction where my the consumption will happen. Okay, so we'll go with 2. And when I say backward and forward, how many days in backward and how many days in forward my system looks for the PIRs. So I'm giving 2 months, which is 60 days. Okay, so 2 months in the backward and 2 months in the forward, my system will look for the PIR consumptions, my demand consumption. So that's why it is maintained here. And this is, I would say, a very mandate thing with strategy 40, but not very mandate with strategy 10. Then why mandate with 40, why not mandate with 10, and why I'm maintaining with 10? I'll explain you that as well, okay, during the execution. And then I have something called as mixed MRP indicator. So this I will explain you with strategy number 11, because that's where this will be used. Okay, so my strategy number 10 is planning with final assembly, and this is a make to stock strategy, and this considers my net requirement. So strategy 11, when I'm talking, that will be a gross requirement. So what is difference between net and gross? We know that as like very layman terms, that net is something which I get in my hand from the salary perspective, and gross is something which is my CTC, right? So similar concept is available here. So we'll see that execution. I have one strategy explanation tab over here, where I have given few examples that we will use during the execution. Okay, so I'll explain you different strategies with different examples. So we'll move forward. Availability check we have configured, if you remember, right? So we'll have to assign it over here, and this will be also assigned to all my components, where the availability check will be triggered in the backend when we are creating the order, and as well we are releasing the order. Okay, so this has to be available. MRP4 view, right now we are not going to maintain anything, because this is mostly used when we are doing the MTO scenarios, make to order scenarios. Then this part will be used. Production versions will be used in the master data itself. Okay, this will be used in MTO, and then we will be using the repetitive manufacturing, and then the MRP4 view will be mostly utilized. So from discrete point of view, I would need MRP 1, 2, and 3 right now, and then work scheduling view. So under the work,
so we are not using advanced planning and forecasting, right, sir?
no, that is from the So advanced planning. One mute, my voice is echoing here. So advanced planning is a new tab, okay, or the new view, I would say, provided in the S/4HANA only. This is not available in my ACC, because in ACC I used to have Advanced Planning Optimizer, which is APO, okay, in a different box altogether. Now the APO has been divided into IBP and PPDS. So PPDS is embedded, okay, just like EWM, if you guys are aware of EWM, Extended Warehouse Management, and PPDS, these two things are now included in the same system. So that's why they have given the Advanced Planning tab here. So this is PP right now, and PPDS is something different, that is Production Planning and Detailed Scheduling. That is altogether a different module. So we'll go with work scheduling view. In the work scheduling view, we have production supervisor, which we have created, ATL, I believe. Yeah. And then why this is required, I'll tell you when the Fiori screens are open. So I told you few settings we need to maintain for tiles. So this production supervisor will play a very important role there. Okay. So production scheduling profile, I think we have ZATL. Yeah. So these two things you have to assign. This is automatically getting copied from my MRP2 view. Okay. And then I have some important data over here, which is called tolerance data. So during the confirmation, we were talking about under delivery and over delivery check, right? So that will be applicable only when you have maintained this particular data in your material master. If you say that I want to check the over delivery and under delivery, but the tolerance data is blank, then what exactly you are checking? How system will understand that you are doing under delivery or over delivery, right? So this data has to be maintained for those checks to be triggered during the confirmation. So we'll see some over delivery as well. So we'll create some order, which is maybe for 100 quantities or 50 quantities, and then we'll try to deliver more of that. Okay. So we'll try to deliver 110 or something. So system should allow me to do that. So I'm maintaining that 10% of that 100, that means 10 quantity, should be allowed as my over delivery. If I try to do more than that, then system should stop me that this is the only percentage that you are allowed. If I want to do more than that, either I can increase my percentage or I can mark as unlimited. Okay. So these requirements may come to you during the execution. Customers will not know that sometimes they need to do the over delivery from the same production order or a process order, but later on if they come, then we can maintain this data in the mass as well. So there is a transaction called MASS or MM17, I believe. There we can maintain it in the mass for all the products. So once you have done this, press enter. In the quality management view, we'll maintain the quality inspection, and this will be of 04 type, because this is my finished product and we will be inspecting the finished product after the goods receipt. Okay, so my 4 is activated, and when you are activating on your end, make sure you are not having a check mark here, because this is a quality master data. Just like routing we have in production planning, we have task list in the quality. Okay, so here we are not going to create the task list from the quality, so you can remove this and we can see how my inspection lot is created and what I can do to bring it in the unrestricted use. So this GR processing time automatically came from my MRP view from scheduling. Okay, because we maintained 1 over there, so that's why it is coming here. If it was blank or if it was more than 1 days, automatically it will come here. And this part is completely from the QM side. Okay, so a QM guy will be filling all this data as required. Then coming to the accounting view will be maintained by the finance team. For our understanding, the basic understanding, the minimum things that we need to maintain. So we have valuation class here. Okay. So valuation class will be different for each material type. So right now we have chosen as finished product. Here you can see. So it will give you the valuation class only for the finished product and other valuation class which is available. So go with the standard. These may be created by the other trainees from different module. So don't go with this. Okay, go with 7920, which is standard, and this is required for the plant project system. So project stock, do not use this. And then price determination, make sure you are having two. And then standard price I will remove because this is getting copied from my Thar. Okay, so why I'm removing this? Because we have an activity, we have a session on running the standard cost estimate, which is part of finance team. So how the costing of a material happens, that we will also understand from PP point of view, because that is something integrated with PP. Okay, integration knowledge will get on that. So we'll make it as blank. Price control. So we have two different price controls. One is standard price and one is moving average price. So if we do not know about this, so we'll understand on the basic part. So what is standard price? Standard price is something which remains standard or stable throughout a year, or at least for 6 months or a quarter. Okay, so we are not changing every now and then. That is called a standard price. So for finished products, mostly we will be using the standard price in the real world also. And what is a moving average price? Moving average price is for my raw materials. So why we are saying why we cannot assign a standard price for the raw material? Because sometimes vendor may be out of stock, right? And we may need to approach a few other vendors, and also companies, huge companies will never depend upon only one vendor. Okay, because it could be the shipping issues. If my vendor is little bit far from my factory, he may not ship on time. So I want to, a vendor which is close to my factory. Also for the stock issues. So based on different reasons, we are keeping it as a moving average price, because vendor A can give me a product for $50. Vendor B, for the same product, he may charge less or he may charge more, right? So that's why it is called as a moving price. It keeps on fluctuating based upon the market demand. So if there is a huge demand right now, you might have heard about the chip shortage, right? So cars are getting delayed. Thar, this XUV 700 has waiting period of one year now, right? Why this is the issue? Because the China, during the corona, China import has stopped. My semiconductors which used to come from there, now we have to manufacture in India, or we have to procure from some other part of the world, right? Because of those issues, we are facing the challenges for the this thing, semiconductors. So similarly, industries are facing different challenges. Now Russia war came, so we never know, right? So that's the reason we have to maintain as V for the raw materials, or we can maintain for the semi-finished product also. So press enter, go to accounting 2 view. So this will ask you the warning that this is blank. That's fine. Press enter. Now accounting 2 does not have anything. Costing 1, again, we as PP guy, we will not be maintaining this, but this we need to maintain to run our complete cycle. Just make sure your profit center is available. So you can use SAP-dummy if you are creating on your own. If this is missing during the execution, you will get challenges. Okay, and rest, it will automatically be maintained from standard. And this price is blank, future price is blank, and previous price is blank. We'll see this part once we have run the standard cost estimate. We'll come back here. So now we have saved my finished product. will go with the raw materials or the components. So the first thing from the component side of Maruti Brezza, we need to create engine. So give engine, and then we can copy from a previous engine. Okay. Product will be raw material for me now. Press enter. And for my raw materials, I do not need a sales view. Okay. Rather, I would need a purchasing view now. MRP views, yes, because I need to plan my raw materials. And then I can go with accounting views, and if I want to extend a quality view, that when a vendor is supplying me engine, I want to do a quality check, then we can do a quality check also. And this will be copied from 17.1c as I mentioned earlier. So this is maintained in pieces and my product was maintained in eaches. Okay. So like I mentioned, this we do not have to worry. This will be done by team. Material group, because the raw material is having a mandatory check mark. And this earlier it was not there. Somebody has made it from the trainee. So this is something we need to again maintain. And these are not standard. So nothing over here. Press enter. Basic data 2, nothing over here. Directly jumping into the purchasing view. So this material group will be copied from my basic data 1. Purchasing group is 0001. Okay. And again, this data will be maintained by the team in details. Okay. Whatever is required from us to run our cycles, we are maintaining whatever the basic things are required. So in the MRP, let us see if this is EX and PD. So we have EX and we have PD. Press enter. Here automatically it will become F as soon as you choose the raw materials. Okay, so this is now grayed out. I cannot update it to E because that's why my material type says. Okay, here you have backflush, and I told you with backflush, this particular location is required. Now you can ask me this question, Harsh. Just now you told me that this production location is for my finished product, right? Where my product will go after my goods receipt. Then why this is mandatory for my raw material? Okay, so this question, the answer is I am using this engine as my component, right? And system should understand if I'm saying it has to automatically issued during my confirmation. So backflush is always backflush. Okay, always backflush. So one means automatically when we are doing confirmation, this product will have 261 movement in the background. So what is a 261 movement? It denotes the goods issue. Okay. So if I'm saying automatically system should pick up from a place, so I should redirect my system from where you need to pick it up, right? So I need to pick it up from 17.1c automatically. And this location will be getting copied in my materials tab of the production order, which I'll show you. And this location, I told you that this is my raw material. My vendor is going to provide it. So from when vendor is giving it to me, where do I need to store it? So I need to store it here, 17.1c, and they both are same. So this locations cannot, sorry, may or may not be same in your real-time project also. Okay, this location from the vendor could be 17.1c, and this production location can be 17.1b, right? So what is the activity which is involved here? So material staging will come in the picture. Okay, what is material staging? Picking the goods from the storage location to the production storage location. Are you able to get it or not? So I have material staging. Okay, so what is a material staging? Suppose I have a material stored in 171C by the vendor. Okay, I'm receiving in this location, but my production is happening in 171B. So how system will understand which location I need to pick up? System will always look for 171B, but here your materials are stored in 171C. So somebody has to pick up the material from here and put it here, right? That is the requirement. Then only you can do a backflush, and you cannot redirect that, okay, this is my warehouse. The production guy will never go to the location which is 171C. He will always say, bring me material in my assembly line, near to my assembly line. He will never go to this location. So how to achieve this? This is called as a process of material staging in production planning. And this transaction is MF60 in standard. Okay. So in standard MF60, you can bring the materials from this location and park it here. And once my production is starting, I can directly issue from this. Okay. I hope this is clear.
So material staging is a place where either when we are shipping the material out from the warehouse or when the vendor supplies that material, it will come first into that material staging area, and then it will go through the quality process, and if it is acceptable, then it will be moved into the 171B, right?
That is another process. So you can do a quality check here and you can still keep it here. Okay.
Okay.
Then the question is, or the requirement is, from 171C, I need to bring it to 171B.
Yes.
So how do I bring it? So here, either you use MF60 or you use warehouse management.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
The warehouse management also has options to do a material staging from one location to another location. But if you do not want to implement another module and you want to do it in standard, then MF60 is your okay. So
So if we are not using the warehouse management, then we will not. We can use the MF60. Otherwise, we could
correct,
use the warehouse management.
correct. So this is called material staging for the plan orders. Okay. Here you have the option of giving production and process order. So you can give your process order number or production order number here, and then in the next screen, it will take you to that particular process from where and from to where you need to do a material staging. Hope you
Then
can
actually
get.
has backflush means what exactly it is? Only the material issue or
Yeah, material issue. Automatic way of doing material issue. So one way of doing material issue is Migo. We can go to Migo and then give the order number. And based on that order, whatever components are required, it will allow you to do a goods issue. Okay, 261 movement type in the background. But there are always, nowadays, I have seen that they want to skip that particular process of doing two-step process. So in one step process, as soon as I confirm my order, I want automatic goods receipt. That means my finished product will also go in that location, the finished location, and automatically my raw materials will be issued to the, so in this case, my engine will be automatically issued to my production order of Maruti Brezza. Else what I need to do, I need to go in Migo, I have to do the goods issue. So that is the execution part. We'll see. Okay, let us make few products without the backflush and few products with backflush, so you will understand the difference. Okay.
So, but in case of material staging, once you release the production order, then only you can do it, right, sir? Like,
Correct.
Once the production order is released in release status, then you have to go for MF60, put your production order or process order number, and do the material staging, so that the raw material will come into the 17(1)B location, right, sir?
That is correct, but RTD mode also allows. Okay, even if your orders are in created mode, it will still allow. Even if you have not released your production order, you can still do it. I have checked that. In my project, it was working.
Harsh,
Okay, sir.
Yes, Amir.
hello. Yeah, that means there is a two location which I mingle with my organization. Right now the scene is in storage location is different and my location is different. So whenever the plan order is generated or production order is generated, that material is moved as per the reservation to my location, so that that material, while if I when I consume the material, that material will go through my location. If you put it the backflush as the backflush point, so whenever I doing the backflushing, that time that material will consume from my location, correct?
So I did not actually understand my location and other location.
My
So
location means suppose,
in
I will
SAP,
tell you. Suppose
say
my
production location or my storage location. Storage location will be where my materials are stored, and production location will be where my manufacturing thing is happening.
okay, so that production storage location means where production is happening, means while storage person give the material on that location, and while
Correct.
backflashing, the system will consume that material from that location, correct?
Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
So before your
Okay.
backflush happens, the material should be already available. Else it will go in Kogi.
Yeah, got
If
it,
you are
got it.
using Okay, so we are almost at 8:54. Let us complete this and then continue tomorrow. So if you understand one component briefly, okay, then we can go quickly with the other components because the data will be almost the same except for the lot sizing and MRP procedure. So wherever it is changing, we'll discuss that. Rest, we can go quickly. So it's okay, we had a good discussion here. So I'll see if I can make it as 17(1)B and I can show you this thing material staging also. We'll extend this material for 17(1)B location. Okay. And here we are also putting few materials without backflush and few materials with backflush. Okay. So let me make one more entry here and I'll mention backflush. So this is non-backflush. Okay. And few things will make backflush and few things non-backflush. So you will understand both the scenarios. So staging will be done without backflush. So we'll make this as backflush and then we'll make the second as non-backflush. Okay. So here the GR processing time is required. Sorry, not GR processing time, but the planned delivery time is required because this is the time that vendor will use, okay, to deliver your raw materials. You can put as 1, you can put as 0 also. So there are two places where we can maintain the planned delivery times. This is the activity of MM, but good to know knowledge from PP point of view. We have some concept of purchasing info record. This, okay. So purchase info record will have the information of a vendor plus material combination. So which material is being provided by which vendor at what price, how many days, that combination is stored in the purchase info record. And if this is maintained when the MRP runs, okay, it will automatically pick up those details from this particular master data. So this is also one of the master data from the MM point of view, not from PP point of view. Okay, so we'll see if I can create this purchase info record, and we need to create one by one for all the materials. If one vendor is providing all the materials, even I need to search if I can create it in one shot. Okay, if that is possible, we'll do that. So yeah, I think one shot will not be possible because different products will have different prices, and I don't see there is a different price I can maintain. So prices will be common, so that is not possible. Yeah. Okay, so MRP2 planned delivery time, either we maintain it here or we maintain it here. So we'll maintain it here right now. Press enter. So this is giving me a warning, but I can extend through a transaction called as MMSC. Okay, MMSC I'll show you a little later, but let us go with 17.1b. So this strategy group I'm making as blank, right? So why I'm making this blank? Because I want my finished product to drive my raw materials. So in real world also, we do not have strategy maintained for raw materials. We do not have strategy maintained for semi-finished product, and different strategy maintained for the finished product. There could be one or two scenarios where at semi-finished product will be maintained, but not at the raw materials level. Okay, because raw material is something which has to be planned with my semi-finished product or a finished product. So that's why strategy part will be blank here. And that's why consumption mode and forward consumption, everything will be blank. Availability check has to be there because this is a trigger point where it will check my engine is available or not. Okay, so once you are done with this MRP4 view, again I mentioned we'll be using this in MTO scenario and repetitive manufacturing, so we can skip this for now. Quality management view. So goods receipt from my purchase order. So once I'm getting the raw material from the vendor and I want to check it if it is of a quality or not, of a desired quality or not, I can do a quality inspection here. So I told you about the valuation class. Different material types will have different valuation class. There it was 79, 30 or 20. Here it is 3000. Automatically system will give you this detail. Okay, so here raw materials use 3000 by default. And another important thing, so for the finished product, for the semi-finished product, the standard price will be calculated when we are doing the standard cost estimate. Okay, that is one of the process we need to do before manufacturing. But this particular price is for my raw materials. So my system cannot understand what is the price you are taking from the vendor. Something which is manufacturing in-house, I can plan a price for that, but I cannot plan a price for the material which I'm buying. I cannot go to a vendor and say, this is my plan to buy at $10, can you give me, right? That is not the way. I need to agree on his terms that you are giving it on $50, whether I take it or I go to a different vendor, right? So I need to maintain a price here for system to identify what is the raw material price. System cannot give you the price for the raw material. So either you maintain it here, or like I mentioned, we maintain it in the purchasing info record. So if this is missing, system will try to find if a purchasing info record is maintained. If it is maintained, the price will be taken from that particular point of time. So I'm giving it here. And then price control is V, moving average price. Press enter, costing view, SAP dummy should be there. Press enter. And then once again, press enter.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, the thing is, like, in case if the price is maintained into the purchase information record, then it will give the priority to the purchase information record. It will not go to the
Correct.
material master, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so once we have maintained the engine Brezza, we can continue with the other products tomorrow. Okay, so will be maintaining based upon this information and my backflush. Okay, so I will maintain this data which has to be non-backflushed and which has to be backflushed. So tomorrow is what? Tomorrow is Saturday, na? So tomorrow we'll plan a class at 7:30. Okay, so because I'll be having some household work as well later point of time. So 7:30 we can connect. Is that okay? Because Monday will be
Yeah,
having
Yeah,
fine.
that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay. No issues.
fine then. So 7:30, same link. Okay.
Harsh, can I call you after the class? I just need to speak to you a little bit.
Okay,
Or do
fine.
you have a class immediately after this?
No, not I do not have a class, but I need to go for some shopping.
Okay.
The
Is
well.
it okay if I can talk to you on the WhatsApp? I can call you there.
Ha ha, you can call me.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.